Krystal Everdeen, and today I want to share with you how to crochet a French market bag or a grocery bag. I'm not necessarily sure what it's called, but pretty much a crochet bag that you could like carry fruit in if you want to. I think that these are really cute and I thought I would show you how I made mine. So let's get started. The materials I'm using include yellow size 4 yarn that is 100% acrylic, as well as a size 5mm hook. So the first thing that we're going to do is grab our yarn and create a slip knot, and then after we've created that slip knot, we're going to place our hook within that slip knot and then chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now this is going to serve as the handle for our bag, so if you want your bag to be bigger, then make more than 20 chains. If you want it to be smaller, then make less than 20 chains. If you like the size of my bag, then make 20 chains, because that's what I did. So after you've created 20 chains, you're going to go back on that chain with a single crochet. Now if you are completely new to crochet and are unfamiliar with these terms or what I'm doing, if I'm going too fast for you, I do have a crochet for beginners video that I will link in the description box below, so you can practice with that for a while and then come back to this project or any of my other beginner friendly projects such as crochet tops or beanies or scarves or anything like that. But yes, that will be linked in the description box below, and I go over what a single crochet is, what chains are, how to hold your hook, and everything like that. But as a quick refresher, a single crochet is putting your hook through the stitch, then yarning over, then bringing it back through the stitch, then yarning over and bringing it through the last 2 loops, and that's what a single crochet is. Alrighty then, so now that I have reached the very end of the row, this is what my project looks like so far. And again, this is going to be the handle portion of the bag. So from here, we're going to chain 1, flip the project over, go into the very first stitch of the new row, and then just continue on making yet another row of single crochet. And we're going to be making about 5 rows of single crochet, and I say about because I've actually never made one of these bags before. This is my first time and I'm kind of making everything up as I go along. Yeah, I'll give you an update as to how many rows of single crochet I actually make once I figure that out myself, actually. So yes, I'm just going to continue making rows and rows of single crochet until I'm happy with how it looks, and then I'll let you know how many rows I actually made. That way you know how many you need to make. So this is what the project looks like so far, with 2 rows of single crochet plus a couple more at the end. But yeah, this is what it looks like so far. I will check back in with you once I've completed 5 rows of single crochet. Alrighty, I am back and I have finished the rows of single crochet. I have actually crocheted 7 rows of single crochet, so not 5, I made 7. This is what 7 rows of single crochet looks like. And now we're going to move on to the body of the bag. So again, this was the handle of the bag, or at least part of it, and now we're going to actually start making the body. And to make the body, we're going to make 5 chains to make a loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's my 5 chains, and I'm going to turn the project over because I was at the end of the row here. And for my new row, I'm actually going to now slip stitch into the first row of this new row with my chains right here, and that's how I create the loops. If you want the loops to be bigger, then you could create more than 5 chains, but for me, I'm just going to make my loops out of 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to go into the next stitch and I'm going to slip stitch into that stitch as well to complete the loop. So this is what the project looks like right now, but it's just 2 loops. And then from here, I'm going to crochet 5 chains again. 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to go into the next stitch and slip stitch into it. Then from here I'm going to chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, go into the next stitch and then slip stitch into that one. Then from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then slip stitch into the next stitch, and this is what the project looks like so far. Looks kind of funny but kind of cute at the same time. It looks like a little bit like a crown or someone with a crazy spiky hairdo. I don't know. But yeah, this is what the project looks like so far. And you're just going to continue making loops all along till you get to the end here. And then I'll show you how to create loops on top of the loops. So from here again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go into the next stitch and slip stitch into it. Then from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go into the next stitch and slip stitch into it. Last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go into the next stitch and then slip stitch into it. And then from here I'm just going to continue on off camera, and then I will check back in with you once I'm at the end of the row. Alrighty, so this is what the project looks like with one row of loops. You can't really see the loops because they're like really close together, but I guess once you put something in the bag, it kind of like stretches it out, right? So if it looks like this, totally normal. So from here, we're going to have to kind of slip stitch into one stitch here to climb up, or to get like closer. Okay, never mind, not slip stitch. I am just going to single crochet my way up the side right here, just so like I'm more up here as opposed to down here, you know what I mean? And then from here, I'm going to create the next row of loops. Again, my loops will be consisted of 5 chains, and then instead of going into a stitch, I'm just going to go into this loop right here. So I'm just going to go into this loop and slip stitch into it and create a loop on top of it. And then from here, similar to what we did in the previous row, we're going to chain 5 and then go into the next stitch where it's actually a loop, and we're going to slip stitch into that stitch, and we're going to be making, you know, a loop in between there as well. So that's what the project looks like so far. And don't worry if it sticks out, because we do want it to get bigger as we go along, and then later on we'll worry about it getting smaller again, so we can make the other side of this handle. So yeah, that's pretty much how we're going to crochet the body of this bag. We're just going to be making loops upon loops upon loops. So yeah, from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to go into this next loop right here, and we're going to slip stitch, and then from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to go into the next loop, and we're going to slip stitch into it. And yeah, that's what the project looks like now. Again, it does get kind of crazy, but in the end it all comes together. So yeah, I mean, again, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing for almost the rest of the project. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just continue making rows and rows of loops until you're happy with the size of the bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will catch up with you again once I am done with this row, just to reiterate how we start a new row, and then from there I'm just going to continue until we do something different, because this is pretty much going to be the pattern for a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will see you soon. Okay, so I have reached the end of the second row, and again, getting crazier and crazier. So from here, I'm going to do the same thing I did in the last one, where I made that single crochet moving upwards. So I'm just going to go onto this last loop here and then make a single crochet upwards. And then from here, I'm going to start my new row of loops. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go into this first loop here and then just continue making loops. 3, 4, 5. And so on and so forth. So that's what you have to do at the end of every row, and then that's what you need to do during your time in the middle of the row, and little by little it will start to grow more and more and look more like the bag that you want to make. So right now I think it's looking pretty good. Kind of excited for it. I'll check back in with you once I've created more rows of loops, just so you have an idea of how it looks during the process. But again, pretty much what we're going to be doing is making rows and rows and rows upon rows of loops. So very easy, just time consuming, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but enjoyable. I mean, who else finds crocheting rather relaxing and like always has to be doing something with their hands? I'm someone who always has to be doing something with their hands, so something like this where I could just do the same thing over and over again for a while I'm like watching a TV show or a movie or something, I love it. So yeah, hopefully you're doing the same thing and enjoying the process. But again, I will check back in with you once I'm towards like the middle of the project, so you can have an idea of what it looks like. And then again, once I'm done making all the loops. But yeah, I'll see you again soon. So after a number of rows, this is what the project looks like so far. So I'm just going to flip it around. This is the part that we worked on in the beginning with the single crochet. And then these are all the loops that I've made so far. So again, this is what the project looks like. It's supposed to be kind of ruffling right here. So if your project looks like this and it's like flaring out, that's what it's supposed to look like. In the end, it'll all come together. But yeah, this is what the project looks like so far. And pretty much I'm halfway done. So I'm going to double this. And once I do, I will meet back with you. But yeah, from here, I'm just going to continue making more and more loops. Okay, so I have officially come to the point where I think I'm done with making the loops. So this is what the project looks like so far. I guess you can't really see the whole thing. Okay, this is what the project looks like so far. And I would suggest that you keep crocheting until you double the size that you want your bag to be, because we're actually going to be folding it like this. And this is going to be the actual size of the bag. So since I am going to be folding it, it needs to be symmetrical with the other side. So we need to make this handle portion now. And it's going to be actually really easy. You don't have to really decrease or, you know, make more rows of loops or anything. From here, you could actually just start doing single crochets. So at the end of this row right here, I'm just going to make a single crochet inside of this loop and then reach on over to the other loop and then make a single crochet inside of that, and then reach on over to the other loop and make a single crochet out of that. And because a single crochet is like so much smaller than the loops, obviously, it's going to actually bring all of these loops together and bunch them up kind of like how it looks like right here too. So yeah, that's pretty much what you need to do. You just need to reach on over to each of the loops and make a single crochet, and then reach on over to the loop and make a single crochet, reach on over to the loop and make a single crochet until you get to the end of the row. I'm just going to choose a stitch to make the very last stitch of the new row, make another single crochet in there, and that's what the project looks like so far. You can see that everything is now bunched together and closer. And from here, this is going to work as the base of the handle. So last time we started from here and then worked our way this way. And now we're kind of doing it backwards, where now we're starting from here and working our way up. So from here, we're just going to make, how many rows of single crochet did I make here? I think seven rows of single crochet. So just the same number of rows of single crochet you made on here. And after that, then we could bring everything together and then make the straps, and then we'll be done with the project. So again, from here, I'm just going to create another few rows of single crochet to match the other side of the bag. And once I've done that, then I will get back to you. So yeah, I'm just going to build rows and rows of single crochet right now, and then I'll let you know what the project looks like, so then we can move on to the next step. Okay, so I just finished my 7 rows of single crochet. That way it matches the other side. And this is what the project looks like so far. It kind of looks like a balloon puff sleeve, actually. If you fold it like this, it kind of looks like a puff sleeve. But anyway, we are going to fold it like this, actually, and it's going to be a bag. So what we need to do now is we need to make the straps for it, and then we're going to go back and we're going to attach the sides together so, you know, things don't fall out from the side of your bag. So from here, we're just going to chain 100 chains. Again, I don't know how many chains I'm actually going to make until after I'm done. So I will let you know once I'm done chaining how many I decided to make. Okay, so I actually decided to make 80 chains because I think 100 chains would have made it a little bit too long. But of course, if you want the straps to be longer, then you make more chains than 80 chains. I wanted mine to kind of be more of a shoulder bag, so I thought a small strap would be better, but if you want it to be longer, of course, you could do whatever you like. But just so you know, I made 80 chains, and from here, I'm going to reach on over to the other side of this handle portion of the bag, and I'm going to slip stitch right here into the corner so I could attach the strap like so. Yay! But of course I want to make the strap a little bit thicker as well, sturdier than just a chain. So I'm actually going to go back on it with a single crochet, and then once I reach the other side of the chain, I'm going to detach the yarn from the yarn ball and then reattach it to the other side and do the exact same thing. So I'm going to attach the yarn right here. I'm going to chain 80 chains and then slip stitch the end of that chain to this corner right here, and then I'm going to go back on it with a single crochet and then detach the yarn from the yarn ball again. That way I could go ahead and slip stitch this portion of the bag, and after that we'll be done. So again, I'm going to finish up this strap by making a row of single crochet on top of it. That way it's a little bit thicker, even possibly 2 rows of single crochet. But yeah, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So checking in, I finished the strap on the first side, and this is what it looks like with the 1 row of single crochet. And then I went ahead and I also attached the sides together so they are closed. So this is what the bag should look like. On this side it's still open. I'll let you know what I did on that side, so you could do the same thing again on both sides. And then I went ahead and detached the yarn from the yarn ball and then made another strap the exact same way, but just on the other side. And this is where I am right now. So after I finished the strap, again the exact same way I did the first strap like I showed you, I went ahead and I slip stitched my way down the side right here, just one side, until I reached the loops, like the area where the loops are. So right now I'm at the bottom of the single crochets and I'm not where the loops are. And I'm going to slip stitch one more time into this stitch so I have a little bit of space right after the handle. That way the bag has a little bit more space to open, where I have right here, so you could actually fit stuff that you want to put in there. And the way I'm going to attach them is I'm going to line them up so that they're symmetrical, and then figure out where I would like for the bag to connect. So I'm going to hold them together, and then I'm just going to slip stitch across both sides of the bag, and boom, now they're attached. And I'm just going to do the exact same thing all along the side of the bag right here until I get to the bottom. And then once I get to the bottom, I'm going to detach the yarn from the yarn ball, and I'll be done crocheting this bag. So it is a little bit complicated because there's no like set stitches to go into. So you just kind of have to figure it out as you go along. So I would suggest that you find the closest stitch and then you slip stitch into it, and then you keep the stitches fairly loose because the loops do stretch, and when you put something in the bag it is going to stretch, so you don't want the stitches to be too tight and not allow the bags to stretch. So yeah, that's all I'm going to do for the rest of the project. And then after I'm done slip stitching all the way down the side right here, then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so I just finished stitching the 2 sides together with a slip stitch, and then I detached the yarn from the yarn ball, and this is what the finished product looks like. So no more crocheting. However, the last step you need to do is you need to flip the bag inside out, or rather right side in. That way you don't see the stitching on the sides, as well as the excess yarn from when you detach the yarn from the yarn ball, and the bag looks nice and clean. And after that, you are completely done with your new French market bag, or your fishnet bag, or your grocery bag, whatever you like to call this. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy free crochet tutorials, I have a ton of them on my channel, so you can just go to my channel and then find the playlist crochet, and again there's a ton of crochet projects that I have for you there. Thank you so much again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, found it interesting, entertaining, or helpful, please give it a big thumbs up before you go, and also don't forget to click that red subscribe button if you have not already, so I can see you next time. Bye!